Nicki Minaj just went completely nuclear on Jay-Z during Grammy night, accusing him of alleged relationships with underage women. But here's where it gets crazy. Music Beyoncé didn't just stay quiet, she came at Nicki even harder. And which he said while defending Jay-Z. Yeah, that part shocked a lot of people. Let's break this down. The title money dispute. On February 1st, 2026, music, right in the middle of the Grammy Awards, Nicki Minaj jumped on X and unloaded dozens of posts aimed directly at Jay-Z. The rant music stretched on for hours. It kicked off around 8 p.m. ET and didn't stop until well after midnight. Music, what set it off? A joke from host Trevor Noah about Nicki's absence, where he linked it to her recent public support for Donald Music Trump. But make no mistake, this didn't start there. The tension between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z goes music way back to 2021. That's the year Jay-Z sold Tidal to Square for somewhere between $297 and $302 million. Nicki was music one of 16 artists who were promised a 3% equity stake back in 2015 for promoting the music platform and dropping exclusives. And that's where things started getting messy.
Well, y'all, Nicki Minaj is back on X, and she's coming for Jay-Z. So in a series of tweets, Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her $100 to $200 million so far.
The Tidal deal was originally sold to the public as an artist-owned music streaming platform. Jay-Z officially relaunched it in 2015 after buying Aspiro for $56 million. At a flashy New York rollout, 16 major artists were introduced as co-owners. Music, that list included Nicki Minaj, Beyoncé, Rihanna, Kanye West, Madonna, and J. Cole. Each artist was reportedly promised a 3% equity stake in music exchange for exclusives, promotion, and helping drive subscribers. Nicki played her part. She dropped the Feeling Myself video exclusively on Tidal and openly pushed the platform. But when Jay-Z sold Tidal in 2021, Nicki later claimed she was offered just $1 million. In her eyes, that number wasn't just low, it was insulting.
It was a partnership. You know, he gave artists some ownership, including J. Cole, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna. And then when he sold the company back in 2021, Nicki Minaj had always said that she felt like she wasn't paid out what she should have been paid out. She was only offered $1 million at the time.
Media outlets like Variety reported that each artist owner walked away with roughly $8.9 million from the sale. Nicki flat out rejected that story. Music, she said she was told there was no profit at all and claimed the $1 million offer was really music, hush money meant to keep her quiet. By July 2025, Nicki's demands reportedly exploded to between $100 and $200 million, factoring in what she called compounded interest. Music, she labeled it karmic debt, tying the claim to her Dow Student of the Game initiative, and promised any settlement would go toward paying fans tuition and student loans. But there's another side. Industry executive, Music, Steve Stout argued that Nicki and others never actually held formal shares because key documents were never signed. He, Music, claimed several artists, including Nicki, didn't complete shareholder agreements, meaning the equity promises may have been more symbolic than legally binding. Public record from the UK's Companies House and US SEC filings. Music, show Tidal's holding company remained largely under Jay-Z's control, with no clear proof of shared equity. Music, the setup relied on privacy-heavy Delaware entities. And that lack of transparency is where the real questions begin.
Well, I'll tell you this, I have no idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X. And I guarantee you, if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge story.
This point, highlighted on The Breakfast Club, brings up a crucial detail. As of February 2026, Nicki Minaj has not filed any lawsuit. Music, despite her repeated threats of legal action, no formal case has been pursued. Critics argue this could signal weaknesses in her claim. Nicki has consistently denied the idea that she failed to sign the necessary paperwork. She insists the 2015 public signing event, Music, should count as a binding agreement. She has also accused Jay-Z and Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez of deliberately blocking access and spreading misinformation about artists' returns, Music, on their investments. Similar conflicts have cropped up before. Kanye West, for example, sued Tidal in 2016 over $3 million in alleged unpaid royalties and bonuses, music tied to the life of Pablo. That case was quietly settled out of court. These incidents suggest a recurring pattern of artists questioning Tidal's equity promises. Music. The Tidal dispute laid the foundation for Nicki's larger accusations against Jay-Z. It fueled her music claims of sabotage, her political pivot, and ultimately her explosive Grammy night posts. Her $200 million claim remained at the center of the feud, even as she broadened her attacks to other areas of Jay-Z's influence. He and Roc Nation have stayed completely silent. Music, letting Nicki's narrative dominate social media conversations on platforms like X, Music, and Reddit.
Well, she felt like Lil Wayne. She feels like Lil Wayne should have been the performer at the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
And the Super Bowl saga shows this financial fight was just the beginning. By 2024, Nicki expanded her grievances into career sabotage, with the Super Bowl halftime show music selection becoming a flashpoint. In September 2024, the NFL announced Kendrick Lamar would headline the halftime show in New Orleans, a move that ignited a firestorm. Fans and artists expected Lil Wayne, given his deep New Orleans roots. Nicki accused Jay-Z of ego-driven bias, framing Kendrick's election as sabotage against Southern artists. As the NFL's live music entertainment strategist, Music through Roc Nation, Jay-Z held significant sway over halftime show decisions. Nicki claimed he used this power to punish Lil Wayne personally, contrasting it with Eminem's 2022 insistence on featuring 50 Cent music during his halftime performance, implying Jay-Z could have done the same for Wayne, but chose not to. The accusation hit hard because New Orleans carries deep weight in hip-hop culture. Lil Wayne built his entire legacy repping the city, so his absence from a Super Bowl hosted in his own hometown felt, to many, like a calculated snub. Nicki, Music, stepped in as Wayne's defender, raising the personal stakes in her already heated conflict with Jay-Z.
She did a whole list. You gotta read the whole list.
She said, "Dear #Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes."
This growing list of accusations showed just how far Nicki's grievances had spread. She wasn't only talking money anymore. She was accusing Jay-Z of using his influence to corrupt multiple industries and platforms. Music, for many observers, the sheer scale of these claims strained credibility, but Nicki never wavered. The Breakfast Club host pointed out what others were already thinking. This feud had become music deeply personal for Nicki. Her defense of Lil Wayne merged with her own unresolved issues, creating a layered conflict built on loyalty, business, and perceived betrayal. Birdman, Cash Money's co-founder and Wayne's longtime music mentor, publicly backed Nicki, calling the Super Bowl decision disrespectful to both Wayne and New Orleans. That support from another industry heavyweight gave Nicki's sabotage narrative more weight among her followers. But the sabotage claims didn't stop with the Super Bowl. Nicki alleged Roc Nation interfered with her tours, including the lack of promotion for the Pink Friday 2 Music second leg. She even connected her 2024 Amsterdam arrest for marijuana possession to industry retaliation, suggesting it was orchestrated music rather than random. She also claimed Roc Nation was actively silencing her fan base. Nicki urged the Barbs to document every suspension or flag on social platforms, believing it was part of a coordinated effort to shrink her influence and mute her message. These accusations, Music, painted the picture of a wide-reaching suppression campaign. Nicki went even further, alleging surveillance, listening devices, cameras, tracking were being used against her. The level of detail in these claims, Music, raised eyebrows, with critics saying the narrative was starting to sound increasingly paranoid.
I say all that because people think that Jay-Z coming out on stage with his wife in Paris to do N-words in Paris was to distract from all of this Nicki Minaj stuff.
Y'all are ridiculous. I want to say something though. If Roc Nation controls all of social media, how come they can't stop everybody on social media from spreading all the negative stories about them?
About Beyoncé.
The Breakfast Club pushed back on Nicki's conspiracy claims with a sharp observation. If Roc Nation really had the power to manipulate social media to suppress negative music stories, wouldn't they have used it to shield Beyoncé from criticism first? This point highlighted clear inconsistencies in Nicki's narrative. Nicki, Music, also zeroed in on what she saw as inadequate promotion for the second leg of her Pink Friday 2 tour by Live Nation. She questioned Music whether Desiree Perez's daughter, who held a role at Live Nation, had influenced this alleged lack of promotion. She even referenced the reported suicide, Music, of a Live Nation representative shortly after she complained about promotion lapses, hinting at foul play without presenting evidence. Her broader claims included shadow banning Music on social platforms and using bots to elevate artists like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and Dote as manufactured rivals. Nicki framed these acts as deliberate moves to undermine her dominance in female rap. These claims resonated strongly with her fanbase, but lacked Music concrete proof. Rumors of legal action surfaced via an Instagram post, claiming Music, Jay-Z, and Roc Nation had sent a cease and desist warning Nicki to stop mentioning them or face a $5 billion defamation lawsuit. Fans debated its legitimacy, Music, with some viewing it as intimidation rather than enforceable, given public figures' Music speech protections. The authenticity of the letter was never confirmed. These sabotage allegations marked an escalation of Nicki's feud with Jay-Z, turning it from financial disputes into claims of existential threats to her career. Whether these Music claims were credible or paranoid sparked heated debate among fans, critics, and industry insiders. The beat dispute and Beyoncé connection. While Jay-Z remained her main target, some accusations drew Beyoncé into the mix. The most notable involved a beat from Nicki's 2018 album Queen, which she claimed Jay-Z tried to take for his wife. In October 2025, Nicki posted on X with explosive allegations about the dispute. She claimed Jay-Z demanded a beat she had already legally secured for a collab, Music, with The Weeknd. According to Nicki, when she refused, Jay-Z insisted the beat belonged to Beyoncé and allegedly sued her for creating a similar track. The post blew up online. Over 23,000 likes, 3,000 reposts, 1,279 quotes, 328 replies, 1,796 bookmarks, and 4,668,322 music views. The reference track came from her Queen album, though she didn't name the specific song beyond the collab. In the post, Nicki used a derogatory term for Beyoncé, calling her Hoberson, claiming Beyoncé just laid down and let them take it and then sue me for remaking a similar beat. This phrasing directly implicated Beyoncé, framing her as complicit in the alleged wrongdoing, even if Nicki positioned her more as a passive participant. Passive rather than the primary antagonist. The beat dispute tied into Music, Nicki's broader narrative of Jay-Z using his industry influence to suppress competition. She claimed his retaliation for her refusal included interfering with her music releases and limiting opportunities. In the same string of posts, she alleged jealousy toward Nas, claiming she was sued for hundreds of thousands over an unreleased collaboration titled Casino. Music, Nicki also accused the Carters of mimicking her and her husband Kenneth Petty's style for years, framing it as an obsession. She suggested the industry's most powerful couple copied her aesthetic while simultaneously working to undermine her career. Yet Beyoncé has maintained total silence publicly. This fits her usual strategy of staying out of social media drama. She hasn't addressed any of Nicki's claims, whether about the beat dispute, the alleged lawsuit, or the derogatory names. Nicki has repeatedly clarified that Beyoncé is not her target. When speculation arose about a deleted post allegedly shading Beyoncé's Sir Davis whiskey promotion, Nicki called it an outright lie. She has emphasized Music that her issues are solely with Jay-Z, not his wife. Evidence suggests cordial relations between the two women. In March 2025, Beyoncé sent Nicki a bouquet, Music celebrating the Pink Friday 2 tour, which Nicki shared positively online, signaling no personal animosity. The two women had previously collaborated successfully on Music, Feeling Myself in 2015, a track that symbolized mutual respect and artistic synergy at the peak of their careers. While Beyoncé's self-titled album was redefining visual releases, Nicki's Pink Print was cementing her dominance in rap. Fan reactions to Nicki's Beyoncé-adjacent claims split predictably. The Barbs largely sided with Nicki, believing she was only targeting Jay-Z. Meanwhile, the Bayhive defended the Carters and interpreted her posts as indirect shading. Music, these online debates amplified the perceived drama well beyond what the statements actually supported. Like the title equity dispute, the beat, music, allegations remain unverified. No legal filings exist related to the alleged beat conflict, and Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and their teams have not issued statements. The matter lives entirely in social media discourse, music rather than proven fact. Content creators and online speculation also touched on Jay-Z's alleged son, Rymir Satterthwaite, who claimed paternity for over a decade. In January 2026, a court dismissed the case and ordered the plaintiff to pay Jay-Z's legal fees. Music, Nicki reposted about the ruling, claiming Jay-Z framed Rymir and even suggesting Beyoncé bribed the judge to protect Music, their image. These claims remain completely unsubstantiated. The Beyoncé connection demonstrates how Nicki's feud with Jay-Z inevitably, Music, brushes up against people in his orbit. Whether deliberate or accidental, her allegations force Music fans to grapple with the larger web of influence surrounding the Carters, and observers to view the Carter family as interconnected rather than separate entities. This dynamic added another layer of complexity, Music, to an already explosive situation. The Grammy night explosion. Tensions between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z hit their peak on February 1st, 2026, during the Grammy Awards. What started as a single joke quickly escalated into a multi-hour social media tirade. Music, introducing conspiracy theories and sensational accusations into an already heated feud. Nicki was absent from the ceremony, despite nominations in categories like Best Rap Song. Grammy host Trevor Noah made a joke about her absence, suggesting, Music, she was at the White House with Donald Trump due to her recent support. The audience, Music, applauded at the line, which ignited Nicki's explosive response. Noah's joke drew from Nicki's political pivot. After criticizing Trump in 2020, she praised him in December 2025 at Turning Point USA's America Fest, calling herself his #1 fan. By January 2026, Music, she attended a White House event, displayed a Trump gold card, and discussed Christian persecution, Music, in Nigeria with U.S. officials. Her embrace of MAGA politics made her a target for liberal-leaning entertainment figures. Nicki's response to Noah began around 8 p.m. Eastern Time with a homophobic allegation. She accused him of hiding his sexuality, writing, Trevor refuses to come out the closet, Music, when everyone in the industry knows his boyfriend. She allegedly followed up with a Chucky doll image, implying the accusation was obvious, Music, to insiders. But that was just the warm-up. By 8:30 p.m., Nicki pivoted to Jay-Z with her most explosive claims yet. Music, she reposted a meme highlighting alleged age discrepancies in his past relationships. Foxy Brown at 15 to 16, while he was 23 to 27. Aaliyah at 15 to 17, when he was 26 to 28, and Beyoncé at 16 to 19, while he was 28 to 30. She captioned it true or false, Music, and included a hashtag implying predatory behavior toward minors. These timelines reflect long-standing hip-hop rumors, though verified accounts differ. Beyoncé has said she met Jay-Z at 18 and dated at 19. Aaliyah's interactions with him were professional at ages 19 to 22, with no confirmed romantic involvement. Foxy Brown's rumored relationship likely began at 17 to 18, though unverified claims pushed the timeline earlier. By 9 p.m., Nicki's post darkened further. She suggested industry elites, including Jay-Z, engaged in extreme misconduct. She wrote, "These PPL have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power. Music," she added, "your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of a blood sacrifice to their god.
But my thing is, you can't accuse somebody of not doing something that you didn't even do. She didn't. Who would she ever campaign for? I'm just asking questions here, people. I'm not accusing Nicki of nothing. I'm just asking obvious questions. I ain't never seen her campaign for nobody.
These claims echoed QAnon-style conspiracy theories and offered no evidence. While she stopped short of naming specific individuals, Jay-Z was clearly the implied target in the context of her rant. At 9:30 p.m., Nicki broadened her targets. She made a transphobic allegation against Chrissy Teigen, writing, "Music, everyone knows Chrissy Teigen has had a dick." Allegedly, this was in response to Teigen laughing at Noah's joke. She also began making body-shaming comments, escalating the chaos further. She also body-shamed Lizzo, writing that she lost 300 pounds just to sell 300 albums. Around 10 p.m., Nicki announced she was halting her upcoming album, posting, "Okay, I'm not going to put out the album anymore. No more music. Hope you're happy now, Jay-Z." She tied this decision to contract renegotiations and referenced an alleged RICO investigation into Billboard sabotage. "I won't be releasing an album until my contract is renegotiated and until I tell you about all the sabotage this RICO is finding out about Billboard." No official reports have confirmed any RICO investigation or federal probe into Billboard or industry sabotage. Music. This claim fit into her previous and proven accusations, but added the element of federal law enforcement as supposed validation. By 11 p.m., Nicki's rant had shifted to politics. She urged LGBTQ+ and Christian voters to turn against Democrats, calling them demon rats. She alleged voter importation schemes and demonic influences in U.S. politics. She wrote, "The LGBT has also started seeing through the veil, and it has them pissed off. Why are they getting the gay vote by default? They've moved on from the gay vote to flying in PPL to vote for them." Her tirade concluded around midnight with religious invocations, writing, "God will not be mocked," framing her entire rant as divinely justified truth-telling. In a single evening, the scope had skyrocketed, from Jay-Z grievances to industry conspiracies to national politics.
You remember when we had that it was the thing at Rock Nation when Roger Goodell and everybody was there. I was in the room for that. And you remember when Jay-Z was like, "I can point to everything that I've done. I can tell you about the people I've helped, the charities I've given to, blah, 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 this and that." You got to lay your list out. If you telling me that I don't do nothing, if you telling me that I don't show up for my community, now you got to lay your list out.
This point, highlighted on The Breakfast Club, exposed a key contradiction in Nicki's political attacks on Jay-Z. She criticized him for failing to campaign for KLA Harris, yet she herself had not supported the Democratic candidate. This inconsistency, music, weakened her credibility on political matters. Media outlets describe her rant as unhinged and MAGA-fueled, while Forbes noted potential defamation risks stemming from her accusations. Her attempt to red pill the LGBTQ+ community was met with ridicule, as her claim that Democrats took gay voters for granted clashed. Music, with decades of documented policy differences between the parties on LGBTQ+ rights. Hypocrisy questions and aftermath. The Grammy night explosion drew intense scrutiny not just toward Jay-Z, but toward Nicki herself. Critics highlighted what they saw as glaring hypocrisy. Nicki positioned herself as an exposer of alleged predatory behavior. Yet her husband, Kenneth Petty, is a registered offender, convicted in 1995 of a serious crime against a 16-year-old, a fact she has repeatedly defended. Her brother, Galani Mirage, was convicted in 2017 for a serious offense against an 11-year-old. Nicki paid for his legal defense and was publicly supportive throughout the trial. On social media, these family connections were frequently cited in response to her accusations. Music, comments pointing to her husband's and brother's convictions flooded platforms, with users accusing her of attacking others for alleged behavior while defending convicted family members. Critics argued that if she wanted to position herself as someone exposing wrongdoing, she first needed to address verified misconduct within her own circle. Her failure to do so undermined her credibility as an arbiter of others' actions. The hypocrisy critiques also extended to her political rhetoric. This recollection suggested that Jay-Z had previously defended his community contributions when challenged. Music. The implication was clear. Nicki's accusations about his lack of support for Black communities contradicted a documented record of philanthropy and advocacy, all without her presenting comparable contributions of her own. To skeptics, her criticisms came across as hollow. The entitlement question kept coming up in discussions. Music about Nicki's Super Bowl grievances. The assumption that Lil Wayne automatically deserved the halftime slot simply because the game was in New Orleans struck some observers as a sense of owed opportunity rather than earned selection. Celebrities like Billy Porter publicly condemned Nicki. He stated, "Music, fuck her. When people show you who they are, believe them." This response from a prominent LGBTQ+ entertainer reflected broader frustration with Nicki's political pivot and her courting of conservative voters at the expense of communities that had long supported her career. The aftermath of the Grammy night rant left Nicki's public standing more polarized than ever. Her core fan base, the Barbs, rallied in her defense, portraying her as a truth teller exposing industry corruption. Music. They viewed the backlash as proof she was threatening powerful interests. Meanwhile, the broader industry and media response remained largely negative. Music entertainment outlets labeled her behavior erratic and questioned her mental state. Some observers expressed genuine concern, viewing the rant's intensity and scope as possibly reflecting personal struggles rather than calculated exposure. Donald Trump defended Nicki on Truth Social. Music criticizing Trevor Noah and the Grammys. This endorsement cemented her standing in conservative circles, but Music potentially alienated fans who disagreed with her political shift. The blending of industry grievances with partisan politics complicated her public image in new ways.